Talking about line plots again, this time we're going to talk about plotting data on a line plot. Whenever we plot data on a line plot, we have to make sure that we plot them using X's. Some of you guys wanted to plot them using circles and different things like that, but we always use X's to identify our data. Before we can plot them, we have to make sure that our line plot has a couple things, and we have to kind of know the backstory for our line plot. So up here in red it says, this is the data for the fraction of an hour teachers spent talking on the phone. And you can see that I have several different teachers listed out here. And they each have a fractional piece beside them, but one thing that you may notice about the fractional pieces is that they all have different denominators. So you see some with eighths, some with fourths, some with halves. So in order to plot this data, we're going to have to find a common denominator in order to plot, just like we would do when we add or subtract fractions. When we're thinking about common denominators, I see lots of eighths, a couple fours, and just one half. And the thing that we know about 2 and 4 both is that 8 is a common denominator. So in order to plot, we're going to have to plot with eighths. So I'm going to get my fractional pieces out there. So I have 0, 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and 8/8. We obviously know that 0 means 0. 8/8 would be the whole 1 hour. A couple other things that we can look at here is we can look at our 2/8. We know that 2/8 simplifies down to 1/4. We know that 4/8 simplifies to 1/2. And we know that 6/8 simplifies to 3/4. So we pretty much have all of our bases covered here. Now, we have to get ready to plot this data. Before we plot it though, our line plot needs a title. So I'm going to title this line plot, So I'm going to title it Fraction of an Hour Spent Talking on the Phone. Over here, we know that each X is going to represent the number of teachers. So I'm going to make sure and have that labeled. And our numbers down here, our fractional pieces, are going to be fractions of an hour. Without this bottom half down here labeled, we don't know what we're talking about. We don't know what these fractional pieces represent, but because we have a title down here or our axis labeled, we know that these fractional pieces represent the fractions of an hour. Alright, so now that we're ready to start plotting our data, I have to look up here, and I like to cross them out as I go. That way I know what's been done and what hasn't been done. So looking up here, Mr. Meadows, he spends 1/8. So I'm going to write an X right there, and then I'm going to cross it out up here. Miss Snyder, she spends 7/8. X, cross it out. Miss West, I spend 1/8. Cross it out. Miss King is 3/8. Cross it out. Miss Izzo is 5/8. Cross it out. Miss Pope is 1/4. Now remember, on these top ones right here, I don't see a 1/4, but I know that if I simplified 2/8, it would give me 1/4. Cross that one out. Miss Curley, she is 3/4. Again, same thing. 6/8 simplifies to 3/4, so that X is going to go above 6/8. Miss Irvin is 1/4. Miss Connell is 3/8. Miss Finney is 5/8. Miss Smith is 1/2. Mr. Henry is 1/8. Miss Gander is 3/4, and Miss Dollard is 7/8. Okay, so now we have our data plotted out, and I'll move this a little bit closer to the camera so that way you guys can take a look at our fractional pieces plotted out. So just like we talked in the other video, we can use this line plot right here to answer quite a few questions. So we can see that on here, most teachers spend 1/8 of an hour talking on the phone. Okay, the least amount spends 1/2 talking on the phone. Okay, everybody else, pretty much 2 teachers represent each fractional piece. So hopefully this has helped you understand how to plot data on a line plot, but make sure that you check with your teacher and ask her if you have any other questions.